Hey all, this is my last in a series of blog posts about intimacy with God. And the reason we've been doing this for the last couple of months is because intimacy with God is the difference between religion and having a vibrant faith that really matters and changes us and changes the world. It's the difference between just doing good things and actually having something that reaches deep into our heart and draws other people towards Jesus. What we've talked about so far are things like prayer and meditation and scripture reading and such like that. But I think there's one more practice that really builds intimacy with God, and it might surprise you. And that's because it's outreach. It's talking to people or sharing your faith or serving others in a way that draws people to Jesus. Soldiers often talk about the bonds that they forge in the midst of combat. They're on mission together. They have an objective. And as they do that, they develop this tremendous intimacy, this closeness with each other. It's no different when we're talking about intimacy with God. They've, just like soldiers risk their lives in the fulfillment of a mission, God is saying, look, if you're going to follow me, I need you to be on this mission to make disciples. And to do that will take some risk. You're going to have to do things that you're uncomfortable with, and that leads to intimacy. All the other things we've looked at so far are largely internal. They're things you can do by yourself. They're things you can do alone at home, like praying and meditating and so on. But if we stop there, we will be capped in our intimacy with God. There's something about reaching out, about pursuing the mission of making disciples that breeds intimacy that nothing else can do. And let me give you 3 reasons why that's the case. The first is, if you're going to do it, you have to be seeking God all the time because you don't know what to do. If you're like me, a lot of times you go and it's like, I'm not even sure who to talk to or how to do that or what's the next step. And that means that you have to be praying. You have to be talking to God. You have to be saying, all right, God, what's next? That leads to intimacy because you're listening to him. Secondly, you begin to actually share the passion of God. When you do this and you say, God, I want to know how you feel about the people around me and how I should pursue them. As you do that, you will begin to share the Father's heart for those who don't know him yet. And there's nothing more intimate than actually sharing something that's of a core value or a core belief. One of the reasons that the relationship with your spouse is as intimate as it is because you share the experiences of raising the children or the passion of the things you do together. It's why you can have this as a soldier or a coworker. So it is with God. The more you understand his heart, the more you share his heart, the greater your intimacy will be. Then the third thing is, when you engage in mission, you begin to see God at work. Because as you take risks, as you obey, as you step out, as you speak, as you pray over people, as you do all these things, you'll see God show up. God will do some amazing things in you and through you. And that leads to intimacy because you get excited about it. The relationship seems more vibrant and open, and you're inspired to do more. My friends, if you want intimacy with God, it's going to take effort. An author said once, you can have as much of God as you want, but only as much as you're willing to pursue. So, practice the disciplines. Pray. Do new things. Do meditation. Read scripture. Obey what he says. Do the different things he puts in front of you and be on mission with him. As you do these things, your intimacy with God will grow. And I can promise you, you will never, ever be sorry. There's a level with God beyond your current level, but it's reachable. God is not trying to hide himself. He wants you to come to him. Till next time.